All right. Good morning. Yeah, it's morning. Good morning, everybody. This is Bobby Blackjack talking football live, the Masters. Joined right now with my boy Howard Shatsky. Shats, how are you today?
I'm great, Bobby. Let's go, buddy.
Yeah, Jim will be joining us in just a few moments. All right, so we missed last week. So, what are your thoughts on the our New York Giants the past 2 weeks?
Looking good, looking good. I'm a big Brian Daboll fan. I think he's got things going in the right direction. I think the attitude's turned around. Even Danny Dimes is playing well. Team looks good.
How shocked were you about that win in London on Sunday?
Wasn't shocked.
You thought so? You thought really?
No, I mean I thought it was going to be a low scoring game. Just like last night, unlike Jim. He's not here for me to give him shit about his bad pick. No, they I thought they looked good. The offensive line looks good. Saquon's back. I'm optimistic.
Now,
We just got to get rid of them pesky Eagles.
well, you got to think one of those teams will get a little injured this week because you have Cowboys and the Eagles play, I believe, Sunday night. So they're both 4-1 as well as we are. So at least one of them gets knocked down at Peg.
Well, the Eagles are 5-0.
They're 5-0. All right,
but
5-0.
If you think they're going undefeated, you're out of your mind.
No. They're not a complete team that would do something like that. Not that I'd see right now. I'm just trying to blow us up on our things here. Usually I'll wait for Jim for that. Anyway, yeah, it was kind of a shock. I mean, I was pretty pumped up for that game. I tell you, I mean, if you're a pure football fan, like a lot of us are, right? That whole London game at 9:30, you have pretty much a whole day of football. By the time you're done at night, it's a good 12, 13 hours of football or more you have to watch. Which, if you're a purist, like a lot of NFL fans are, I mean, it's a great day.
My wife was not happy.
As many wives and girlfriends probably weren't as well. Especially if you're up early, hey, honey, why are you up so early for? Oh, Giants are on, right? Oh, that's the only reason why? Okay. I'm surprised, they don't.
Can we go to lunch? Yes, if we're back by 12:55.
Yes, we got to make it quick. The game's over. We have maybe a half-hour window to get there and back, or at least get to a place with a TV on or something.
That was a rough one. I had to tell her we weren't going out to lunch that day.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good. So what else is going on? So before Jim pops on, we're going to have this clip for you on our next episode. But once again, why don't you tell us about your NFL Films little segment?
Oh, my college roommate told me it was 16 seconds long. The best part for me was actually getting to meet Lydell Mitchell, who was there. They were filming a special on Franco Harris that's going to air. And he's a Penn State legend. So having had about 26 guys from Penn State that played in the NFL, I enjoyed meeting him.
Actually,
we have a surprise guest today.
Oh, here we go.
Hold on a sec. Oh, she's a little shy. But Callie's decided to make an appearance.
Hey, Callie.
She's had her IV this morning. She's all pumped up.
That's awesome.
She's ready for some football.
I think we all are after what are your thoughts of last night's game?
I think if I'm Amazon, I'm wondering what the hell did I pay for? Can we get a game on Thursday night? As I told Jim, the game was definitely going under. 19 points for the entire game. Last week we had a baseball score at halftime. This is ridiculous.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the level of talent that they put on, and it's all part of the NFL saying that.
Jim, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Who was the genius that decided in October we want to see the Commanders versus the Bears.
Okay, but they had to. What they have to do with that TV contract is that they have to. Each team in the NFL has to participate in one of these Thursday night games at least once. So they got to spread it out as best as possible, and then also try to keep some sort of a competitive balance. Did anybody want to? Does anybody want to see Commanders versus Bears? The answer is no, and that's exactly what turned out. You got to see the finished product last night. That was dreadful. So there's nothing that's going to change that right now unless the NFL goes away from their policy of having each team in the NFL playing at least one Thursday night game, and that's just the way it is right now.
They have to keep that policy because of the collective bargaining agreement,
Right?
and because really, as we all know, after you've played a game on Sunday, to come back and play on Thursday
is brutal.
When I hear all this talk about how concerned they are with player safety, they're concerned with one thing: money.
Right. Well, that's the way the world in the NFL. It's all about money.
Money.
You think you think any of these teams want to be able to come back after say for instance the Tua incident? Okay, Tua gets hurt on Sunday, and then he's got to come back and nobody's going to tell me otherwise. He was concussed on Sunday, just by the way he acted.
The doctor is fired.
The doctor got fired, right?
Yes.
Fire the people that pay the doctor.
Yep. So anyway, that was the nobody in their right mind wants to put that kid back out on the field 4 days after suffering a concussion. So that's why they downplayed it and say that it wasn't a concussion. But anybody in their right mind got to see the way he was wobbly that it was a concussion. Hey, I'm telling you right now too. It may turn differently now, but I'm going to say Justin Fields has got to go through the protocol over the next couple of days because he was knocked wobbly last night. And there were a couple of times I didn't think he was going to be able to get back up. And for him to finish that game was amazing to me. I thought he was concussed.
I'll tell you, get back to Tua real quick. That thing with his fingers, that was one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen on an NFL broadcast.
Yeah.
Like, that was scary. When his fingers were all mangled like that. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And that's what happens when somebody is severely concussed, that their hands bend back the wrong way and become rigid like that. So that was scary. There's no question. And
Jim, I gotta ask, as someone who's media credentialed and attends games on the sidelines, you go in the tunnel, you've been in the locker room. What do you think about Davante Adams?
He's got to get suspended for a good period of time. I'm going to say 6 games. 5 games, something like that. He's got to. You can't lay your hands on a working member of the media like that. You can't do it, And that was really unfortunate, really, really unfortunate. But he's got to pay the price. I don't know whether or not I don't know whether or not filing criminal charges against him was the answer.
When you look at the tape, you can tell the guy didn't do it on purpose, but he definitely had his head down and wasn't looking where he was going. So some responsibility to me when you're in that kind of area and you're on the sidelines. Listen, I've come close to being hit. So that you have to keep your head on a swivel.
Right.
So when you have your head down and a player is coming off a tough loss, I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm not saying he shouldn't be suspended, but to toss the guy for 6 games, when I think there was some fault on the other party.
No, I disagree, but that's besides the point. You know, you can't. You there's no way in the world you can blame this guy who's holding a tripod and
Well, the way he did just pushed him. He didn't punch him in the face.
no, but he knocked him down.
He didn't throw him into a wall. Let me ask you a question.
He's a pro football player and knocked
If-
down a cameraman, for God's sake.
If it happens to you, are you filing criminal charges?
I wouldn't have went down like he did. Like, let's put it that way. I wouldn't have went down because I'm bigger than the average bear. But would I have filed criminal charges against him? No, I don't think I would have. But still, the guy did, and it has to be addressed. And the NFL has to address it the right way by suspending Devontae Adams for a good period of time. No question, they have to.
Hey, Jim, before we go forward, we mentioned when we top of the show about the Giants' big win in London. What are your thoughts about the Giants beating Aaron Rodgers on Sunday?
Stunned is the best adjective that I can give that. Stunned.
We own them, baby. We own them.
Yeah, there you go.
Aren't we like 5-0 in London or something? The Giants?
No, I don't think so.
Something like that. I thought I saw something like that. They're really good in London or something.
Well,
as far as record wise, like I was saying to Howard, Jim. I mean, if you're a pure NFL football fan, these London games are the best thing to happen because you got football from 9:30 in the morning until 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday.
Again, that's what the NFL loves. They love that. They love that idea. Do you think the players like that idea? Hell no. But does the NFL like it? Sure, because it's attention for their league all day long, from 9:30 in the morning until, like you said, 11 o'clock at night. That's what the NFL loves. They love that idea.
Jim is 100% correct. No one going over on that plane that has to put a jersey on is excited about that trip.
Nobody. No one. And the Giants, to their credit, got one of those planes that had at least 20 beds on the plane. So of the they took turns on who could spend, say, 1 hour on the bed. Okay, your time is up. Now you got to get out, and then the next guy come in. So this way, they all had at least 1 hour on a bed while going across the sea. But,
who were the two teams in the first London game?
Last week.
Was it Seattle?
Was it Seattle?
One of the teams, the head coach, none of the coaches were allowed to lay in those big seats that were beds, all for the players.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't remember who the game was. The 9:30 a.m. game.
Wasn't that the Saints and Seahawks?
Yeah, it was Seattle. That's
okay.
That's what Seattle did.
Wow. Now I haven't been to Europe myself yet.
I'm trying to think, who in the world did the Cardinals play? Did they play the Seahawks?
No, it was Seahawks Saints. I think you cut off for a second.
Seahawks Saints. That's who it was.
Yeah,
it was the Seahawks Saints.
Pete Carroll that did that.
Yeah, and it was Pete Carroll that did what?
Had all the players take the sleeping seats.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it makes sense.
Now, guys, I haven't been to Europe myself yet, and it's on my list, of course. Have you guys been to Europe at all?
No.
I'm just curious now. How much further is Germany than London? Because I think the next game, right, is the German game.
That's
first
correct.
game in Germany.
I got a great story for you guys. So I go to Greece on my honeymoon, and all of a sudden I hear somebody call my name, and I'm thinking, who the hell could know me other than my wife in Greece? And I turn around, and I don't know if Jim knows him, but he's had some Giants, and it was David Canner. Do you know David?
Yes.
So I said, I said to my wife, I said, watch this. I go, oh my God. I go, "You're not here for that tackle, are you?" Jim, 100% he goes for it. He says, "What are you talking about?" I go, "The left tackle from Greece." I go, "Some scout told me about the kid. I,
Oh my
I,
God.
I thought I was the only one who knew." He said, "Are you serious?" I said, "No, you moron. I'm here on my honeymoon." He said, he said, "I'm here on my honeymoon too."
Oh wow. Okay.
So David Canner and I got married around the same time. And
That's
anything
funny.
there was a left tackle from Greece that was going to the NFL.
That's funny.
That is funny. Yeah.
So, guys, before we go into our picks and everything, and a little further in depth, what are your thoughts about this Daniel Snyder thing coming out with? He has dirt on these owners, and this
Well,
guy's just got to get out of there. I mean,
here's the
I
deal. We've known about Daniel Snyder for the last 15 years, and I don't know, if he's an a-hole. There's no question he's an a-hole. He's not well liked by anyone, and that includes even the women that he dates. Even they don't like him. He's just got a real nasty way about him that he thinks he's in charge of everything. Never mind just in charge of the Washington Commanders. He thinks he's in charge of everything.
Let me
And
tell you,
unfortunately,
I could tell some tremendous stories. I had a lot of friends that worked in the building. I had family friends that worked with him in business before he owned the team. He's a difficult guy to work for at best.
right. He's like I said, he's an.
But
I mean, I don't want to
here's
curse
what
on a family show, but he's an a-hole. There's no other
here's
words to
what
describe it.
I want to know, Jim.
let it fly, Jim. Let it fly. We're good.
He's an asshole. He's an asshole. Completely.
Given what happened with the toxic work environment and then the money being gone, what kind of dirt must he have on them for them to leave him alone?
I know. Hey,
I would love to know what he knows.
I know from a very, very reliable source, okay, that the dirt that he has on Jerry Jones is unbelievable. It's jaw dropping unbelievable. I can't even hint to it. That's how bad it is.
Let me put it to you this way. From being at the combine and having seen Jerry out on multiple occasions, I'm not surprised.
Right.
Wow. And you know what? That's one owner you would think he would have dirt on, right?
Well, he's one of them. And the other one that he had dirt on was Richardson, who owned the Carolina Panthers, but then he sold his team before any of that crap hit the fan. But Jerry Jones is under the impression that he's bigger than the league itself, and if Daniel Snyder wants to, like say, quote, kill him, the stuff that he has on some of these people is really, really inflamed. And again, and the stuff he has on Jerry Jones, wow, will blow you away. Will blow you away.
Wow. Real quick, my girlfriend Melissa apparently is listening, and she says it's 2 hours from London to Germany. So extra 2 hours added to the flight that these players are taking for that game.
Well, that means that they're on a plane
Almost 10 hours
for 10 hours total to go from, say, Newark to Munich. It's 10 hours.
Yes.
Wow.
And that's Newark. Now you have Tampa going, right? Tampa's playing. I forget who they're playing. I know it's definitely Tom Brady's playing out there. So that's Tampa to Germany. That's probably even longer. Wow.
That's a long flight for big, huge football players with injuries to be sitting on a plane with compression in the middle of the cabin. Oh boy, is that a lot? That's a lot. And Goodell mentions this week, before all this crap happens, that he wants to explore the idea of having a division, a European division in the NFL, where the 4 teams will all be from Europe? Oh my God. Who's going to play them? Are they all going to play each other?
Cha-ching.
No, that's it. No, that's what fuels the fire, you know. It's all about money. There's no question. But that really would blow me away if they had, an entire division of NFL teams all
Hey,
playing the same thing.
something, the business has really changed. I remember I was talking with one of my guys yesterday, and a friend of his who I represented was a second round pick. And his entire deal, other than his signing bonus, I believe, was $1 million. The minimum salary now, if you're a free agent and make the team, is a little bit over 700 grand. So you can see what kind of money they're bringing in.
Oh, there it is. I'm back. Okay.
Yep.
I was lost for about 20 seconds.
Now you mentioned again, Howard.
Well, since I started in the business, I've seen a second round pick whose whole deal was $1 million, and now a free agent makes the team, and the minimum salary is right above 700.
Right.
So things have changed, and
without question, the minimum salary in the NFL now is $750,000.
they can keep talking about player safety, but when you add Thursday night games, when you add games in London, when you do things that aren't good for player safety, I say BS. Where's the concern for the players?
If what happened to Tua doesn't open up eyes across the entire league, and watch that poor young man go off the field on a stretcher 4 days after, and I'm telling you he was concussed, and that didn't open up eyes, then I don't know what will. Because you know what? What it would take is, I guess, somebody to die. If somebody died, like, say, for instance, God forbid, if Tua didn't recover from his injuries and he died.
Wow.
Well, then that would end those games in a heartbeat, wouldn't it? If
Sure,
death involved.
Like when Corey Stringer died, all of a sudden hydration and things like that became a big thing in training camp.
Correct. Huge. Changed the way they operated. No more 3 a days.
That's what it took, though.
Yep. Well,
also, I was just saying, also last Thursday night's game with the Colts, Nyheim Hines got jolted, and he was visibly gone.
Well, without question,
he couldn't even stand.
Right, and they didn't waste any time at all with Hines. As soon as he was wobbly, boom, he got taken out, put in a tent, and said he wasn't coming back. They didn't risk anything at all with him.
Wow. Let's go a little bit about our local teams, Jets and Giants. I believe for the Giants, isn't Saquon Barkley the number one rusher in football right now?
Absolutely.
1 or 2?
Absolutely,
Now,
he's number one.
What do you do if you're Joe Shane? Do we sign this? Do we sign him? Is he part of what we're doing, or is he a piece to get a first round draft pick or some assets?
Howard, you can go first if you want, but I'll go ahead.
Listen, I'm not a big fan of paying running backs a lot of money. I remember when I worked with Brian Westbrook, his last contract, he was 28 years old when he did it. And he was concerned about how long the deal was going to be. And I just told him, I said, Brian, I wasn't working with him at the time, but he called me for some advice. I said, Brian, I'm going to just tell you something. You're only going to play for 3 more years. He said, what are you talking about? I said, look around. There are no guys at your position over 30 in the NFL.
Very sure. Yep.
I said, so the only thing that is what they pay you in the first 2 years of this deal. And he had 2 more years in Philadelphia and that last year in San Francisco. So I was right. He got 3 more years. And that last year with San Francisco, there's an argument to be said. I like it when a guy plays for one team, like Michael Strahan, for his entire career.
It's hard now. But Jim, what are
It
your
didn't
thoughts?
take long for Strahan to get into this show, though. It really didn't. Like, here we go. The glory of Michael Strahan just keeps giving and giving and giving. Go ahead.
So, Jim, what are your thoughts about Saquon? Do we sign him or do we trade him? I mean, Buffalo is. I keep hearing Buffalo.
Pay him.
I think they got to re-sign him. I really do. Like what else are you going to do? He was the number 2 pick overall. His knee is now totally recovered.
Locker room.
And he's playing really, really well. I think they got to pay him.
What are you telling the other players in your locker room if you don't sign him?
Wow, you're setting a trend that's saying, okay, guess what? You're only as good as your last slice of bread. So I personally think the Giants are stuck between a rock and a hard place. That then let's put it this way, they'll never sign another free agent as long as they live. If they don't re-sign him, if they don't re-sign Saquon and all of a sudden it comes out and says, I'm like the Giants say that they're not going to re-sign him because he's good. He'll be 27 years old when the contract's up, and I personally think that they have to re-sign him. If they don't re-sign him, it sends a really nasty message not only to the other players in that locker room, but to other free agents that may possibly think about signing with the Giants. They'll say, look, the Giants don't even protect their own. They're not going to re-sign Daniel Jones. There's no way they're going to re-sign him. And if they don't re-sign Saquon,
I can tell you firsthand that is what we say to our clients as agents. We don't want to go there. They don't take care of their guys.
I just have a little phone problems there. Yeah, I mean, it's you're right. I mean, I see both sides of the story there. It's a real tough call. Jim, I'll start with this question to you. Is there a way of Daniel Jones to make his way to another contract with this team if they keep winning?
No, I don't think so.
I think if they went deep into the playoffs.
Yeah, even then I don't think so. I think by now they know what they have in him, and quite honestly, I think that they're going to look to go in another direction. It's just the way I feel, and I feel bad for the kid because he's putting his entire body out on the line every single time he takes the field. But I don't think there's a way in hell that he's going to get another contract from the Giants. I just don't see it. And I really don't. Now, where do they go to get a replacement for him? Bob beats the hell out of me. I have no idea. But I'm just telling you, I don't think that the Giants are going to re-sign him.
Well, if they want to stay with this running type quarterback like Daniel Jones, I think they look that backup in Baltimore is phenomenal. He's I think his name is Huntley.
Yeah, Huntley. Oh, he was first with the Packers. He's not that good.
You don't think he's that good? I think
no. They got to honestly, if he's healthy, the Giants got a better backup now in Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor's a better quarterback than Huntley.
I'm thinking as far as a direction of a franchise, like who's your next.
Well, I'm not going to give Huntley like franchise tag type money because he can't play.
I mean, they may go to the draft.
Well, that's the problem though. You're winning too much now, right? Now you're almost to the point where you're winning too much that you're gonna kind of get out of that space where you get those top 3 or 4 quarterbacks. So you're kind of let's say we're in a rock and a hard place in a good way, obviously in a good way because we're winning, right? Everybody's happy. I see a lot more Giants hats and jerseys around Jersey now than I have ever than before, past couple of years. So it's something to look out for. And I think we'll get to the picks in a few moments, but they have I think it's a huge game this week because if you really are at home at 4-1, coming back from London and that big win over the Packers, who might be overrated, by the way. That Ravens game is another barometer of how you're doing, of how you're playing.
That's correct. I think that'll be a good barometer of how good the Giants are. Is playing against a very good Ravens team, and a Ravens team that has a quarterback who's also looking for a new contract. How about that?
And we have a lot of cap space next year, right?
A lot of cap space.
A lot of cap space. All right, guys, real quick before we go to our picks for the week, New York Jets are 3-2, and also playing above expectations. New York football is back right now.
Yeah, how about that?
The Jets.
How about that? Now, the Giants are 4-1, and the Jets are 3-2. I personally think the Jets are a better football team. I think the Jets have much more talent at all the positions. Now, am I sold on Zach Wilson? No. But, I mean, I am sold on Breece Hall. I think he's the real deal. And they got Michael Carter back there, too. So what is the
sold
team in
on
the NFL?
Breece Hall.
What's that, Howard?
I'm sold on Breece Hall.
Oh, I was sold on Breece Hall about 4 years ago when he was a sophomore at Iowa State, and he ran ramshot all over Oklahoma. And I said, where in the world did this kid come from? And then when the Jets drafted him in the second round, I said, oh, they got themselves a steal. The Jets had the best draft in the history of that franchise this year. When you think of getting Sauce Gardner and Wilson, and they got Johnson, and then they got Breece Hall in the second round. What a great draft they had. Seriously, great draft.
Howard, your thoughts on the Jets so far?
Oh, I agree. I love Sauce Gardner. I love what they're doing on offense right now. Michael Carter. We talked about Breece already. Zach Wilson, I agree. I'm not sold on Zach Wilson yet. He has not shown me that he's the guy, that he can be an elite NFL quarterback. And you look at all these young quarterbacks, Trey Lance, Kellen Mond, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson. We don't know if these guys are going to be any good.
Right. Then none of them jump off the page as being talented enough to be an NFL starting quarterback. None of them.
Now, Justin Herbert. Yeah.
Now you're talking.
Trevor Lawrence.
Nah, well, the jury's still out on him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So these young quarterbacks, now when you draft one high, you have a monetary investment in them that is so big, they have to play at some point.
Okay.
You have to find out if they are any good. So they made the decision to go with Trey over Jimmy G. He didn't look so great. Granted, it was a hurricane. Then he got hurt. So we still don't know. But are they a better football team with Trey Lance than Jimmy Garoppolo? I don't think you can say that.
No. I don't know if you can say that either. I really don't. But the 49ers seem to think so. There's no question. They think that Trey Lance is the answer.
It's the monetary investment. You have to play the kid at some point.
Well, eventually, that if you're drafted 3 overall, you better hope and pray to God that the guy is going to be able to play right away somewhere down the road.
Well, if not, people are getting fired.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now we mentioned the Giants having a big prove-it game this week against the Ravens. The Jets traveled to Green Bay. It's almost like poetry, right? They got to play their teams the Giants just beat overseas, and like I said, are the Packers overrated?
I got a bad feeling about that one. They got the problem with the Packers is Randall Cobb is 33 years old?
Yep.
When you have a 33-year-old who's probably your WR1 right now, that's a problem. Aaron Rodgers does not like young receivers. Unfortunately, my guy's kid, Christian Watson, he dropped that touchdown pass.
And he's never been the same.
That 80-yard dime, what a way to start your season that would have been. Aaron Rodgers. When he dropped that pass, Aaron was done.
Yep.
He will come back to you if you're a veteran. But if you're a kid, you better catch that football.
Yeah. No, Watson has not recovered since. And as a matter of fact, I don't even know whether or not Rodgers has thrown him the ball down the field. I think every time that Watson touches the ball, it's all on end sweeps
Yeah.
and end arounds. It's not out of out of a pass play. And obviously, if you're going to be a number one receiver, then you better be able to catch the ball. And he's not had that opportunity.
Well, Aaron, in all fairness, should come back to him. But look at what he's got now. He's got Watson. He's got Romeo Dobbs.
Lazard.
Like I said, Randall Cobb's is WR1. Your offense is going to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, but they also have Aaron Rodgers there, and Aaron Rodgers makes mediocre receivers look like Fred Biletnikoff. I mean, he has a really, really good chance of doing those types of things. He's the real deal. There's no question. In my mind,
Aaron,
you're gonna think I'm wrong, but in my mind, everybody wants to talk about Tom Brady being the GOAT. Sorry, I think Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Tom Brady.
Aaron is unbelievable player.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just highly unlikable, at least in my eyes.
Yeah. Well, highly
yeah.
unlikable when it comes to women too. He's gone through his litany of famous women that he can't stay together with, and now he's dating a Sharpa or whatever the hell they call those mythical women.
Let me ask you this question: if you're Devontae Adams, are you leaving Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers to go play with Derek Carr and the Raiders?
Yeah. Well, the reason why is because
Derek
Carr was his boy in college. They were good friends. So,
right. But if his relationship with Aaron was better, he probably stays in Green Bay.
Hard to tell. Money. There's no way in the world Green Bay was going to offer Adams that kind of cash the way that the Raiders did. No way. So I just think that he had to. They all do it. They all go fight for the God Almighty dollar, and that's what Adams did. And now it's coming back to bite him in the rear end because they're obviously in trouble, and he's obviously going to be in serious trouble once the NFL makes a ruling, a disciplinary ruling on him. So it's not a pretty situation in Las Vegas right now.
That's true. All right, guys, let's go to our picks for this upcoming, already started week of football. Let's start with Niners at Falcons. Falcons getting 5 points.
I don't know how you could pick against the 49ers right now, especially defense alone. They're gonna get at least 10 points. The defense puts them. If the 49ers defense is good for at least 10 points a game. That's how good their defense is now. And the Falcons have no quarterback, right? Who's quarterbacking this week? I don't think it's Mariota. I think it's PJ Walker is going to. No, he's the quarterback in Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't know who's quarterbacking the Falcons, but they do have other talents. There's no question. Kyle Pitts is there, and they got other talented people. But I think that the 49ers are far superior to the Falcons, even if their game is in Atlanta.
Howard?
I agree. 49ers are one of my strong picks this week. Get it now before it goes to anything at 5.5 or better. Take San Francisco.
I thought you mentioned Kyle Pitts, Jim. I mean, what a waste of a talent right now. The guy should be a lot better stats than he has so far. They got to find a way to use him. They really haven't yet.
Got to find a quarterback that can get him the ball.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Patriots at the Browns. Both teams 2-3. Browns favored by 2.5.
Okay. Well, the who's quarterbacking? It all depends upon who's quarterbacking the Patriots. If it's Zappi, then I got to go in against them. There's no question. But if it's what you call it, if Mac Jones is
Mac
able to
Jones.
play, then I think the Patriots have a pretty good chance. This is a make or break week for the Patriots. If they lose and go to 2-4, you could probably put dirt on them. I think that they'd probably be done if that's the case. So I think this is a must win for the New England Patriots.
I agree. Howard?
I think Cleveland has a good football team. Either way, Zappy or Mac, I like Cleveland.
Okay. Well, Jacoby Brissett leaves a lot to be desired, but so far, this also could be a make or break year, a make or break week for the Browns. There's no question.
By the way, if you see the news last night, another woman has come forward against Deshaun Watson. So
they're going to keep coming out of the woodwork, and it's just going to keep coming and coming and coming. There's no question that he had, like somebody estimated that it was upwards of 60 to 70 women that he had incidents with. They're going to keep coming. There's no question. That's far from being settled. Sorry.
All right, we have the Jaguars and Colts. Good old-fashioned AFC South battle.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Jags 2-3, Colts 2-1. That could be your snooze fest of the afternoon. Colts favored by 2.
Jonathan Taylor there's not been any ruling at all whether or not he's playing yet, right?
No,
not yet.
Yeah, and that's where you got to look at the Colts. If the Colts have Jonathan Taylor, they're a legitimate threat. They don't have Jonathan Taylor, and you're going to have Himes as your number one running back. They're in serious trouble if that's the case. So
they have no running game without Taylor this week,
right? And you can't, obviously it's been proven you can't win without a running game in the NFL.
Don't even take a side in that game. Just bet the under.
Yeah.
Here's a big matchup: the 4-1 Vikings at the 3-2 Dolphins. Again, another situation where we're not sure who the quarterback is, at least for Miami. Miami's actually getting 3 points.
Tua is not playing. There's no way he plays. There's no way they were going to risk that young man's life by having him play 2 weeks after they said, yeah, he can't play. There's no way he's playing.
Don't forget, Bridgewater, first play of the game last week. He's not
bad, and he's not bad, but he got hurt and he got knocked out. So they had the immortal Skylar Thompson got called in. And I think right now, Skylar Thompson is listed as their number one quarterback.
Howard?
I think it all depends on whether or not Bridgewater plays. If Bridgewater plays, they have a shot. If not, I like the Vikings.
Yeah.
Are you surprised with the Vikings 4-1 start, you guys?
No, I like the Vikings. I think Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. I love Justin Jefferson. Dalvin Cook is a tremendous running back. They have a tremendous amount of talent on that team.
I agree. Adam Thielen, they got is also another capable wide receiver on that Viking team. There's a lot of talent on Minnesota. There's no question. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Another battle of 2 and 3 teams. That could be a knockout situation. The Bengals at the Saints. Saints are getting 2 points.
Yeah, well, the Saints miraculously threw the ball in Taysom Hill's hands on last Sunday, and he performed remarkably. I guess I got to go with the Saints there, because of the way they played last week. I think that they're going to draw a little momentum on that. And plus, they now have a healthy Alvin Kamara. That's a big key. You got a healthy Alvin Kamara that's going to touch the ball 25 times, either as a runner or as a pass catcher out of the backfield. He's the real deal. There's no question.
I agree for one reason only. We had a disaster last week. My fantasy team is in big trouble. Darren Waller got hurt. Dawson Knox got hurt. I had to pick up Taysom Hill. He scores 4 touchdowns again. Alvin Kamara is back. The Saints cover and win.
I picked up Hill myself this week. All right, the 3-2 Buccaneers travel to a disheartened franchise in Pittsburgh. My team, 1-4. Pittsburgh getting 9 at home. When's the last time that happened?
Well, I think that's a big spread to give to a home team, and honestly, I know Pittsburgh has been.
I got
Howard.
to agree with where Jim was going.
Uh, Pittsburgh is struggling this year. As a matter of fact, I think their running game is out of control, and the fact that I think Najee Harris has got 66 yards rushing, and his backup has got in the 50s. So between the two of them, they got barely over 100 yards rushing, and this is the fifth game of the going into the sixth game of the season. Wow, is that trouble? So, yeah, I feel bad for the Steeler fans or whatever, because I think that it's a lost year, and I think they always say, "Well, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season." I think he's staring at his first losing season. I don't think they're that good at all, and they're banged up all over the place. So
Yeah, I think they have a really horrendous record when TJ Watt is out. You know.
yeah,
So,
no, you're right. I think it's
I can't lay 9 points as to a road dog. There's better games on the board. I wouldn't even touch this game.
yeah. Obviously, I agree with you there, but to give a home team 9 points is a lot. There's a lot of points in the NFL, a lot. So I would stay away from that game as well.
all right, now we go to the 4 o'clock games. First up, we have the awful Carolina Panthers traveling to Jim's LA Rams.
No, we're just as awful, but I think we could get this one. Reason being, they just fired their coach, so now you got a new coach coming in. They don't have a quarterback. Baker Mayfield's not going to play. PJ Walker is going to be the starter, and PJ Walker say hello to Aaron Donald. So, although the Rams still, I don't know whether or not their offensive line has gotten any healthier in the past week. But boy, oh boy, was it scary to watch them watch poor Matthew Stafford try to run away from the Cowboy rush that was on Sunday. I think the Rams rectify themselves and go to 3-3. I think they're in.
I got to go with Jim. They won't face the rush they had last week. Stafford will have a good game. They'll pull out a W.
Now, Howard, real quick, you're a coach's agent. Where does Matt Rule go from here? Does he ever sit the NFL again, or is he now going to be that college guy because that's where he has his success?
Do you have any idea how much money Matt Rule is going to make?
800,000 a month or something for the next 4 years.
800,000 a month?
No,
No, not that much.
it's not that much. Hold on, I'm going to get the exact figure.
But it was substantial, whatever it is. He'll be back in a second.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Matt Rule is going to make $834,000 a month.
That's what
You're
I said.
right, Bobby. You're right.
For the next 48 months.
Wow.
Courtesy of the Carolina Panthers.
Wow.
God bless America. Apparently, the best job in the world is to be a fired football coach.
I agree.
Do I think Matt Rule's going to do? I think he's going to go home. He's going to sit on his couch. He's going to put on the games, and he's going to be so happy about how much money he's making.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
amazing.
Real quick, let's take a quick pause, Howard, because you mentioned this earlier before Jim came on. What are you guys' thoughts about the Deion Sanders and Eddie Robinson snafu last week? You mentioned that before, Howard. Jim, what's your take on that? Did you see that?
I don't even know. Trust me, I'm oblivious. What's this about?
After the game, Deion gave him a handshake and kind of went in for the hug, and Eddie Robinson wasn't having that.
Eddie Robinson, obviously Eddie Robinson Jr. Yeah.
Yes.
And this was after the Grambling.
Jackson State. Yeah.
And
the Black Colleges Bowl.
I kind of agree with Eddie because you can't trash me all week and then try and give me a bro hug after the game.
Yeah. Okay. Good point.
That's not happening.
Good point.
What's his next step, by the way? What do you see? Does Dion jump to like a Nebraska type situation? Or
There is no Power 5 school in the country that would hire him as their head coach right now.
Okay.
I don't
I
see
think his alma mater might somewhere down the road.
maybe down the road.
Well, because they still got Jimbo. So, but I mean, not Jimbo. They still got.
Norvell, right?
I don't think Dion wants to go anywhere other than Jackson State. I think
Okay.
he'll win games right where he is.
All right,
Well, go ahead,
back.
Bobby.
No, back. I'm saying back to the 4:00 games. Cardinals at Seahawks. Geno Smith, the surprise quarterback of the season so far.
Without question. Who would have ever thought?
Playing Zach Wilson.
Yeah. Who would have ever thought that that Geno would become the quarterback that he is right now? And you would think that if you're going to get if you would think that that Geno Smith would have a better year than Kyler Murray, you would be like, who would have ever thought that? But that's what's happening.
Well, not only Kyler Murray, his predecessor there, Russell Wilson's.
He's even doing better
playing
than Russell
horrible.
Wilson.
Oof, a lot of quarterbacks. Now, Howard, you play fantasy football. Geno Smith is a legit fantasy quarterback right now. There are a lot worse you can do than Geno Smith right now in your fantasy team as your quarterback.
Yeah.
Over-under is 50.5, so they're expecting a high score game. That should be entertaining. That should be one of those high-scoring, entertaining late games in the afternoon, right? But the game of the week, 425, 401 Bills travel once again to the 401 Chiefs. Chiefs are actually underdogs by 2.5 points at home.
Well, everybody is the flavor of the month is the Buffalo Bills. Are they the best team in the NFL? I still think they are. But again, you're going to give Patrick Mahomes points at home. That's unheard of. It really is unheard of. And it's not like the Chiefs are just automatically they're terrible. I mean, they still got Travis Kelce. They still got their other, the slew of receivers. They got Edwards-Helaire at running back there. I mean, that's a talented football team. And of course, more importantly than Patrick Mahomes, they've got Andy Reid. Andy Reid is, in my mind, one of the most underrated coaches in the history of the NFL.
I'm going to give you guys the sharp play on this game. Jim is 100% correct. The Chiefs have a tremendous amount of talent. Andy Reid is an unbelievable football coach. Look at the guys who have coached under him and what they've gone on to do. He has the best coaching tree of any recent coach in the NFL, including Bill Belichick.
Well, Belichick's successors or proteges have been terrible.
Oh, terrible.
There's not been a single solitary one of them that's done anything.
But they keep hiring them though.
Well,
I believe
because it's Belichick. Just like right now, everybody keeps hiring Sean McVay's assistants. Well, they're all one after another. They're all getting head coaching jobs somewhere because they want to think they can catch lightning in a bottle. They want to get the next Sean McVay. Well,
here's the sharp play for the Kansas City game, Bobby. Jim is right. The Chiefs can go right down the field at any time. Although teams have been playing, zone coverage on them, making Mahomes take the shorter throws, but he's been very patient. He's been moving the ball down the field. Hopefully they will score first. Then you immediately will get probably 2 points and pick up +2. Wait till the game starts. Hope Kansas City scores first, and then live bet Buffalo.
Looks like rain too. And personally for me, as far as fantasy football, my 5-0 team has Josh Allen as a quarterback. My 401 team has Mahomes. So I'm going to sit back.
Your team is 5-0.
I have a 5-0 and a 401 team.
Wow.
The people in your league must be awful.
No, I am that good at fantasy football.
They must be awful.
And I'm going to sit back and hope for a shootout. Sunday night, Cowboys 4-1 at the Eagles 5-0. Probably the co-favorite, co-best game of the weekend slate. What do you guys thoughts of the Cowboys and Eagles? I think Dak's still out, by the way.
Dak is still out. I think that the Cowboys defense is good enough that they're going to harass the hell out of Hurts, and I think that the 1972 Miami Dolphins can pop open that bottle of champagne. That I think the final undefeated team goes down the wayside this weekend. I think that the Cowboys win.
Eagles 6.5-point favorites too, which considering Cowboys are 4-1 and have a pretty formidable defense. I think it's a lot of points myself.
I'm buying that 0.5 point. I'm taking Dallas +7.
That's a great pick. I'm not a big Cooper Rush fan, but I am certainly a Micah Parsons and the rest of it. Boy, oh boy, I'm drawing blanks with their defense. Van Der Esch is still there. Lattimore's still there. That's a very, very good defensive football team. As well, the Rams know fully well for what happened last Sunday.
Monday night, potential snooze fest. I think Broncos at Chargers. Broncos 2-3 playing awful football almost all around, and with a coach that seems like he's a bit over his head. Against the Chargers,
he's way over his head. You're right. Nathaniel Hackett's way over his head. I hope the ink is not dry on his contract that he signed, because I think he's already on shaky ground. And Los Angeles, the Chargers, they got Justin Herbert. I mean, he is the real deal. He's a very, very good quarterback. And Austin, is there a bet? I mean, we all talked about Saquon Barkley having a great year so far. What is Austin Eckler doing?
That Bronco game had to be one of the most poorly coached games I've ever seen. How you don't run that ball on third down when you can run that clock down and go up by 6 and give them that ball on their own 25 with about 30 seconds left, instead of letting Russell Wilson, who hasn't done a thing all game long, throw the ball again, is beyond my wildest dreams.
Right.
I'll tell you.
And right before third down, I'm watching the game, and, there may or may not have been a little wager on Denver. And I said to the television, do not throw this football. Do not throw this football. And they didn't listen to me.
Did the TV talk to you?
They threw that football. What happened?
Yeah.
Well,
I'll tell you.
I don't know what's happened to Russell Wilson, but he certainly looks like he has deteriorated tremendously since last year. I mean, tremendously.
Zone picks. He can't hit the broadside of a barn. I feel bad for him. His head coach is terrible. Pick against the Broncos.
I think, like Jim mentioned, the whole X factor of this game is Justin Herbert, because even his coach is a little bit of a whack job with some of his decisions he makes on fourth downs or whatnot.
Justin Herbert's one of the NFL's best quarterbacks. I just wish Brandon Staley would stop looking at analytics. You do not go for it on fourth down. I don't care it's 4th inch and 1 hair. Do not go for that on your own 25. You do not have your punter take off on 4th down.
That made no sense.
You don't do things like that.
Right.
Well, how about the Raiders this week with the tie or go for 2 at the end? I mean, there were 4 minutes to go. That was crazy too.
Everybody goes for it on 4th down now. If you're inside your own 30, do not go for it on 4th down. Punt.
Our 2 last local picks: Jets at Packers, both 3-2. Packers 7.5-point favorites. Looks like a cold, rainy Green Bay on Sunday.
Is it cold? Going to be cold there?
48 and rain, which I'd be cold.
Yeah, well, then if that's the case, that's going to be a very interesting game. I can't see Aaron Rodgers losing 2 in a row, and especially the way they lost in London. you could be rest assured they're loaded for bear. I kind of like the Packers in that game.
Howard?
Too many points. I don't really like the game. If anything, I would tease it down and put Green Bay with another team and ride with the pack to win.
All right, and then our Giants 4-1 home against the Ravens. Big statement game for both, like I said, for both local teams. Giants are 5.5-point underdogs at home.
Wow. Talk about a lack of respect for the Giants, huh? 4-1, and they're a 5.5-point favorite at 5.5-point underdog at home. And they're 4-1.
Yep.
What does Las Vegas think that the Giants are playing? The 72 Dolphins? I mean,
I think
wow.
you got where I'm going with this pick.
I got to take the Giants in the points. I would have to, right?
Give me those points, baby.
Yeah, I think I'd have to.
I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line, too. I think we may take this one.
Well, for them to win 2 games in a row, back to back, for them to go 5-1 with that schedule, they're going to have to rename the building after Dable. Like the Dable Training Center. Yeah. Instead of the Quest Center, it should be the Dable Training Center, because they have to do something to rename it after him. That would be amazing.
Give him the award now, Coach of the Year.
Right now. They win that game, he wins Coach of the Year right this minute.
Absolutely. Well, guys, another great show. I love the energy we have, the three of us. Again, big statement weekend for our local teams, and hopefully we have some, smiles on our faces next Thursday or Friday when we have our next episode.
Looking forward to it. Howard, great talking to you as always. Take care, guys.
Take care. Have a great weekend.
Enjoy the weekend.
Football. Yep. Bye-bye.
Right. Bye now.